from the KAKE studios. This is Good Morning KAKEland.
Here we come a-caroling among the leaves so green. Here we come a wandering so fair. And joy come to you, and to you glad Christmas too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. God bless the master of this house, likewise the mistress too. And all the little children that round the table go. Love and joy come to you, and to you glad.
And good morning. Welcome to a very merry KAKEland Christmas. We are live this morning in Wichita's Old Town Square, celebrating all things Christmas.
That's right. The Wichita Symphony Chorus joining us for our second annual Christmas show. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to hear them throughout the rest of this morning. We have a fun show coming up for you.
We do. You said second annual. It was equally as cold, I believe, last year.
It was.
We should really think about that if we're going to make this an annual thing, because I'm guessing next year is going to be really cold,
yeah,
too.
Probably.
I learned from last year. I went out and got me a scarf and some gloves. First time I've ever worn a scarf, guys.
Go Shane.
This is Trendy Tuesday for me.
Trendy Thursday.
Yeah, we
for
are
you.
ready to go here, though. This is going to be a fantastic time. It's just so cold, though. So anybody who's out here, who's come out to celebrate with us, we are so thankful, because this is going to be awesome.
And hopefully you're at home in the warmth, sitting on your couch, getting to join us no matter where you are. Thanks for being with us today. And make sure you tune in a little bit later on in the show. We have some special things coming up. But first, we are live once again in front of Wichita Mayor Jeff Longwell's Christmas tree. His annual tree lighting was held earlier this month with carolers, Santa, and festivities along the river. And then, of course, the night wrapped up with fireworks. So make sure you tune in later to the show. Mayor Jeff Longwell joins us, and he's going to put us to the test in a jingle bell battle.
Oh, yeah. We've got some trivia.
We'll see what that is coming up a little bit later.
He was answering these questions, but I assume it's us answering these questions.
With him, you never know.
You never know.
It's a surprise.
All right, well, you know, I said it was Trendy Tuesday, but what it really is Throwback Thursday, guys, because this is catching our attention this morning. This is the story of Jana Hollingshead. She has had dozens of vintage Christmas displays, and throughout her home, some of her decorations date back to the early 1900s, from paper dolls to skates to Christmas trees to Christmas mugs, you name it.
No way.
All this vintage Christmas decor catching our attention, and most of the decorations are what she has collected over the years, and others are from when she was a kid. So Hollingshead says she loves it all and just cannot pick a favorite. And I think it's so hard to pick a favorite this time of year when you're looking for that special Christmas spot, the place that's really going to fill you up with the Christmas spirit. And families looking for that special spot this year, they might be considering taking that short drive to Towanda.
That's right. You can get the full Christmas experience at Fulton Valley Farms. We have a look in today's special edition of The Wizard of Wah.
On this special edition of The Wizard of Wah, we've left the hustle and bustle behind. We find ourselves in the country. More specifically, we're just south of Towanda at Fulton Valley Farms. Joining me now, David Corbin of Fulton Valley Farms. You guys have been doing this for about 5 years, but if somebody hasn't heard of Fulton Valley Farms, what is it?
Well, right now we're in our country Christmas mode, which we do for about the whole month of December on the weekends. We're open on Friday and Saturday nights. We've got one more weekend coming up this Friday and this Saturday. It's going to be an experience. It's $5 to get in per adult. 3 and under is free. And it's just a walking tour through all the lights, about 200,000 lights in the woods, in trees up 40 feet high, and some of the trees, of course the silos 40 foot high, also lighted up. The music plays and the lights dance to the music. We have different static displays in the woods. We also have the reindeer here, and Santa Claus will be here, concession area. It's just a wonderful experience. This Friday night we'll have a horse team and sleigh. People can ride on for an extra fee, so it's just something to do. Otherwise, in the summertime, we're doing weddings here. We do about 60 or 70 weddings a year.
Wow, that's a lot of weddings. You mentioned a country Christmas. This has I'd say, a different feel than some of the other light displays and that sort of thing. I mean, we are out in the country. This is off of a gravel road. Talk about that.
Well, it is in the country. It's what we call agritourism. And basically, it's just an experience for people to come out into the country, experience the farm life. This is a working farm during the summer, but right now it is on the Christmas theme, and so it's just a wonderful experience for a family. We have many families that come back every year and make it a tradition for coming to Fulton Valley Farms.
Tell me about the lights you guys have. It's a walking display, so you're not driving your car through this. It's a little slower pace, but tell me about the lights and how they're set up.
Well, it's on a path. You'll walk across about 3 bridges over some running streams. They're spring-fed, and you'll experience that. If we have people that are disabled or can't walk that far, we have golf carts that we will take them around on. They just need to let us know at the ticket booth that they need assistance. That's not a problem. There may be just a little wait if there's some people in front of them, but we'll handle them.
What are some of the features that people are going to see as they walk through the woods admiring the lights?
You'll see some static displays, some blow-ups. I'm not fond of blow-ups, but we have a few for the kids, and some of them I really kind of like. But Santa is in an outhouse down there.
That's not something you see every day.
No, it's not. And of course, you'll see the reindeer will be here in a tent. They may even be out walking around. You never know what happens. And as I mentioned, Santa will also be here, and that's experience. And Mrs. Claus will be here with Santa.
All right, something to check out for sure. Coming up here on this special edition of The Wizard of Oz, we are going to talk to one of Santa's helpers here, something that maybe you haven't seen before. That is coming up here at Fulton Valley Farms. And we are live outside here again. We are in Old Town Square. I've come over here to the choir because it's freezing. I'm trying to get some warmth. Are you cold?
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, it is. Consensus over here is it is cold. Let's go ahead and take a look at the situation weather-wise. The biggest issue really, it's cold, yes, but it's the wind out here that really adds a little bite to it. We got a wind advisory in place today. We can see wind gusts north and south central Kansas, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Also, high fire danger. Lots of dry grass to contend with. That wind's going to be out of the northwest. Sustained right now at 17 in Wichita, 20 Salina, 23 in Hutchinson, 20 Garden City, 21 Goodland and Colby. Wind gusting to 29 in Wichita, 31 Hutchinson, 30 in Dodge City, 30 in Hill City. Here's a look at your temperatures across KAKEland. 41 in Wichita, it's 40 in Salina, 39 Great Bend, 35 in Garden City, right around freezing Goodland, Colby. That's the air temperature, so really 41. You say that's not too bad, but it's the wind that gets to you. Wind chill value here in Wichita feels like 32 degrees, 30 in Salina, 24 in Garden City, feels like 20 in Colby. Here's a live look outside Central Care Cancer Center KAKE Cam. We do have the sunshine going for us if you can find it. Right now we're standing in the shade. 41 degrees. There's a satellite and radar picture and cloud cover essentially non-existent at this point. Here's a look at your forecast across KAKEland. We'll see highs stay in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Lots of sun and loads of wind. Tonight into tomorrow morning, we're going to bottom out in the mid to upper 20s. Wind chill values tomorrow morning, plan on them down in the teens. Here's your 7-day forecast. High tomorrow, right around 52. Less wind, 50 on Saturday. Sunday morning, maybe a little rain-snow mixture. And then late Tuesday, that's Christmas, into Wednesday, the possibility of some rainfall. Highs in the 50s, maybe a thunderstorm on Wednesday. Salina, Hayes, Great Bend, Russell, maybe a brief mix on Sunday. Then Tuesday night to Wednesday, the possibility of some rainfall, maybe a little wintry mix. Garden City, Dodge City, Liberal, Elkhart 50s through tomorrow. Then cooler this weekend, chance for flurries Saturday night to Sunday morning, and Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, possibility of rain and snow. Colby, Goodland, Norton, Hill City. Colder this weekend, low to mid 40s, maybe some flurries, nothing measurable. 44 on Tuesday, that's Christmas Day. Tuesday night to Wednesday, possibility of rain and maybe some snowfall that could impact travel. We'll keep a very close eye on that. If you are going to be out here, we're going to be out here through 10 o'clock. Bundle up if you're coming out here to Old Town. Cold over where you guys are at too, Shane, Allison?
Yeah, absolutely cold. That is the name of the game today, Frank. But we're going to leave you on that. You'll have your, you're going to be tracking that for us. But indeed, there's a rare sight of the season, and there's nothing like seeing a live reindeer that gets your spirit flowing.
I can't wait to go pet him. Yeah. I've had my eye on him this whole time.
We might have to pet him later. But in the meantime, though, we're going to tell you some tips that you might need to know to get that Christmas dessert ready. get your rolling pins out because this is the perfect flaky crust for those Christmas pies. We're going to have that coming up.
And first, a handmade bow is the perfect topper for gifts. Love of Character joins us next with tips and tricks for tying those bows and wrapping those Christmas presents. And still to come, the Wichita Symphony Chorus.
But the fire is so delightful, and since we no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Emily Todd with 1st Infantry Division Atlantic Resolve Mission Command Element. I just want to wish my friends and family happy holidays. I love you, I miss you, and I can't wait to come back home.
Hey, welcome back to a Merry KAKEland Christmas. There is nothing like waking up on Christmas morning with those beautifully wrapped presents under the tree.
Right, but what if you don't have any skills and you can't really wrap? Well, Mary Billings from Love of Character here in Wichita is here to help us out with that.
Yes.
Mary, thank you so much. A very Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, thank you. So I got it started just so it didn't blow away as we were trying to wrap it since it decided to be windy today. But basically I just have a little box inside and I just did the basic first step. Hopefully people know you need to tape over the paper. Make sure it covers the box. So I was just going to show a couple tips. You know, sometimes when you go to wrap, you have a little extra, and instead of trying to like awkwardly cut all the way around, you can just come in here and cut part of it off. So then it is a little bit better, and you don't have that extra there. And then you don't have to worry about trying to cut around a circle.
Okay, we have our camera over here, so let's make sure it's facing us. So she cut out kind of a concave area there.
So that'll help. That's an easy, quick fix for too much paper on the sides.
Nice.
And then if you just go in, you have to make sure you do your creases down, fold in, crease over. Sorry, I'm like...
We'll clean up our litter.
I usually like to use the clear tape versus the green. It's matte. This looks better. Or if you're really fancy and you have some double-sided tape, that works really well. I usually don't use this much tape, but my hands aren't working very well today.
Right, but
They're a little frozen.
They're numb. But that does, it keeps it from bunching up, and that's a really smart idea.
So we'll do it again over here.
So the less paper, the better in that particular area. All right.
All right, you're going to take that for a second.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do the same where you come in and fold. Make sure you crease your sides. Come in. You really should be able to wrap a present with only 3 pieces of tape, which sounds not enough, but if you get good creases...
It's beautiful.
That one little tip, I think, is going to save so many people just by making that one cut.
I know.
That's so much hassle.
So helpful. Okay, then I'll do a quick ribbon tip if we don't blow away here. So I like to do ribbon on all the sides. So if you leave a little tag on the side and then wrap under, when you come, you just crisscross it. So then you have like a cross shape.
Yes.
Then you pull under, and then you'll just want to tuck it under through the middle. And it takes some practice just to get used to it.
You made it look so easy.
Yeah.
That's because I've wrapped way too many gifts for people this season. And then you just pull it through. So you just want to make sure you tuck it under.
Okay.
And then pull through.
Now, do you do ribbon at the shop, or do you get that at the craft store?
We have some ribbon at the shop and then some that we pick up at the craft store, just depending.
Sure.
We kind of have more boutique ribbon at the shop.
Hey, the sun's coming out, guys.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Okay, so then quick bow. If you leave this and you have it ready, then you do kind of an H shape. So you fold it over, and then you do an H shape. You might have to rewatch this a couple times since we're going quick. But then you just keep making that H shape on top of itself however many times you want. And then if you come in here and crease in the middle, you can come.
Oh, man.
How perfect. And we'll have this
just
posted
tie it in
online so you can rewatch that a few times.
It's a little big, but
sure, but imagine that on like imagine that on a big present too. That would work for anything.
And then if you come in, we have really fun gift tags at the shop. So you can come in here, write a cute gift tag, and tie it in.
Mary, thank you so much. Tell us where Love of Character is located so we can get those goodies.
It's over on Douglas and Hillside. We still have some fun wrapping paper left and some cute gift tags. And then this has been a little beat up in the wind. I did make a little mini balloon tree for us because I made one for my house and it's been blowing up on social media.
Put it right up here on the table.
Yeah, a little mini one. It's been a little shifted in the wind.
No, of course. You'd be proud of that. That's awesome. That is so cool. I would have loved to have that in my house.
Thank you for your help.
Yes,
we appreciate your
welcome.
time. Some great tips. Once again, we'll have this online so you can rewatch if you missed any of those steps. Thank you, Mary from Love of Character. Well, coming up ahead on Merry KAKEland Christmas, we sit down with one of the main kinds behind the scenes of Santa's Workshop.
All right, and we head to the kitchen to learn how to make the perfect crust for our Christmas pies. And of course, the Wichita Symphony Chorus continues on here on a Merry KAKEland Christmas. And welcome back into a Merry KAKEland Christmas. The spirit is alive here in Old Town. We are live right now. And Allison, so far we've done some crafts. We've sang a little bit, but it's cold. It's time to turn it up maybe to about 400 degrees or so. Right? Do some baking. Yeah.
Well, Shane, did you know that about 83% of Americans do some baking in their kitchen, but during the holidays it jumps up to about 93%. But whether you're an expert or not, there's always some more room in the kitchen. Sure. And that's where we're going to get the baking tips you need to know for this holiday season. Take a look.
Hey, when planning out your holiday desserts, you can really impress your family and friends with a homemade pie. But there's some tips and tricks to make sure that that pie crust comes out perfectly. Here to help us out with that, Natasha Gondiru with The Kitchen here in Wichita. You're the expert, especially when it comes to these pie crusts. So what do we need to know to make sure that it comes out perfect?
So we're going to actually make our pie crust from scratch in a bowl instead of doing it in a machine like a food processor or a blunt mixer, because we can control it more. So in here we have flour, 1 1/4 cup of flour, a tablespoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. So basic ingredients. The next step to having great flaky pie crust is having cold ingredients. We froze our butter and we grated it. So it's nice and cold, but instead of being pea-sized pieces that we have to work, because remember the first tip is we don't want to overwork our pie crust, we grated our frozen butter so that we can incorporate it right into the dough. And then the last ingredient is icy cold water. So literally I have a cup of ice water, and we're going to start by adding about 3 tablespoons of water into it. So we don't want to overwork our pie dough. We just want it to just barely come together. And you know what? It's going to kind of look like a shaggy mess, almost like what it's doing right now. And that's okay. We want it to just come together, and then it's going to rest. Resting is really, really important when it comes to pie crust. When it rests, all the elasticity in the flour is going to relax, and that's when it's going to form those flaky layers. So we're literally gonna take this, and you can see, I'm gonna use my hands, it comes together, right? When we pinch it, it's pulling all together. So that's all we really need it to do. We're gonna take our pie crust, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is not pie crust. I promise you it is. We're gonna put it on a parchment paper. Set that to the side, and we're going to pull it all together. So once this has happened, you're like, okay, Natasha, I would at this point say, I need to go buy pie crust. No, you don't. You absolutely do not. You want it to come together, and this is going to now solidify and form together. And I want you to notice, if you can kind of come up close, you can see pats of butter all throughout this. Yeah. That's fantastic. We want those little pats of butter to be there. So we're going to take it, we're going to close this, and this is going to go into the fridge for at least an hour. Okay, so you can see this one has come together. It's looking absolutely beautiful. It has rested. So we're gonna now take it and we're gonna roll it out. So let's go over the 3 most important things to get great flaky pie crust. You don't want to overwork your dough. You want to use very, very cold ingredients. So frozen butter, ice water, key. And then the last thing is you want to make sure you let your dough rest at different stages. So it rested after we put it together, and then after we roll it, we're going to let it rest again.
Well, I want to say easy enough, but if you don't want to do this in your own kitchen and you want just the convenience of a perfect pie on your holiday, we can actually order it from you, the expert. Tell us about that really quick.
So we have some great options for holidays and the new year of meals to go, including some desserts. We're doing our Southern Bourbon Pecan Pie is one of them. Just some great choices for when you want to have fabulous food, which of course we all want to when we're doing the holidays, but also easier, convenient. Pop it in the oven and you're ready to go, and you can impress your friends and family.
Absolutely, and then you can say this came from the kitchen. Wichita, when's the last day to order this?
Today is the last day. The 20th of December is the last day to order for Christmas delivery.
Call or message you? Okay.
Call or message us on Facebook and we'll get right back to you.
Well, thank you so much for these tips. We're going to have the perfect, prettiest pies on our holiday meals. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Happy holidays.
All right, thank you so much to the kitchen there. And ahead on A Merry KAKEland Christmas, we meet a special reindeer in training as our special edition of The Wizard of Oz continues.
And next, Mayor Longwell puts us to the test in our Jingle Bell Battle. And still to come, the Wichita Symphony Chorus.
And your stockings say your prayers, come Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, here.
All right, welcome back to A Merry KAKEland Christmas. Joining us now is Wichita Mayor Jeff Longwell. Mayor, thanks for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. This is the fun show. I know. I was like,
does Allison have it?
This is outstanding.
Mayor,
we're glad you're here.
You may not have your hat, but you do have something special for us this morning, we understand.
We have a little trivia for you this morning.
Oh, nice. All right.
To get everyone in the Christmas spirit, are you ready for the trivia questions?
We're ready. We'll ring in if we have the answer.
All right, first question. The night before Christmas, where were the stockings hung?
From the chimney with care.
That's right answer.
I'll wait for you to call on me. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
If you include Rudolph, how many reindeer are there? Shane?
9?
9? Wow!
I might as well be Santa.
Wow! All right. Whose eyes were made of coal? Oh, Allison.
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty's right answer. You guys are on fire.
That should have been yours, Frank.
Who first recorded the song "Here Comes Santa Claus"? Allison.
Gene Autry.
That is outstanding.
Wow.
Allison is correct. I think that's the winner. Allison won. Allison won.
That's great.
What can I say? What can I say?
Because I don't think either one of us would have known Gene Autry.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
How about a bonus question, Mr. Mayor?
Bonus question right here. What is the most popular tree topper? Oh, I think
a star!
Mr. Frank Waugh.
A star?
A star!
An angel!
An angel!
Angel!
No! That is not true!
Frank got our first wrong answer this morning.
That's the first time I've been wrong all week.
Yeah. Well, you had 0, Frank.
I was going to say a lifelike version of Wichita Mayor Longwell.
Yeah, thank you, Allison. So my wife and I are hosting Christmas this year at our house, so you 3 are welcome to come.
Thank you. Well, thank you for hosting us here at your tree as well.
This is outstanding.
It's beautiful.
Gets us in the Christmas spirit.
Thank you, Mayor, for being here, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
All right, still ahead on A Merry KAKEland Christmas. The holidays is also the season of giving, whether it's a donation to your favorite charity or a donation of time to volunteer. We meet one man who's giving back in a very festive way.
And we're going to go behind the scenes of a beloved character and talk with a man who worked with Santa himself. Still to come, the Wichita Symphony Chorus, as well as A Merry KAKEland Christmas returns.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him, and heaven and nature see.
Welcome back to Good Morning KAKEland with Allison Ackland, Shane Ewing, and meteorologist Frank Waugh with your KAKE First Alert forecast. KAKE News on your side.
He was just really jolly and happy and made the kids happy. Couldn't wait till Santa came.
I'm just singing and dancing and having a good time, bouncing around.
What do you sound like?
A little squeaky little thing, I thought.
Well, that he was just ridiculous sounding and very energetic and, you know, very enthusiastic about cake.
Who are we talking about? Someone that brought so many smiles to people in KAKEland.
Yeah, Frank, you grew up around here,
Yes.
so all those folks have their memories. It's fantastic to know.
Very enthusiastic about cake. I like that. Could be either any of us, but we're not real squeaky and little.
That's true. Hopefully not anyway. So I got to tell you, though, as happy as I am to be a part of this group here at Good Morning KAKEland, this is the time of year when we have to pay tribute and say thank you to those who came before us, a particular group who shaped Christmas in KAKEland for an entire generation. A group whose legacy still lives on today. And to do that and to tell their story, we have to go inside the workshop.
This is Santa's Workshop, happiest place in the world, full of toys, laughter, and everything good. And best of all, Santa Claus is inside, and he's waiting just for us, so let's hurry.
All right, Cake Man.
There he is, Santa Claus, the real Santa, according to any kid with a TV, right there in our living room. From those very first broadcasts in the 50s, right by his side, his little biggest helper, counting down the days.
Only one day, boys and girls.
It's getting close, Santa.
But this was no elf, despite the short stature. He was something altogether different.
He was a free spirit, and Santa knew this, and he just played.
Hugh Harding worked with Cake Man.
Cake Man would pop up in there once in a while.
Yeah, he'd pop up. He gave him personality.
Cake Man was pretty docile before I took him over. And then after I took him over, he became very animated and playful.
And that voice.
Merry Christmas.
Mary, that's 2 words, but that's all right.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Gentle to any child's ears, yet not subtle at all.
The person doing Cake Man before me was a lady. And she was the sales secretary downstairs in Cake Radio. And she left to go to Florida, and that's what happened when Henry asked me to do the character.
Henry.
Stretch, it's too much for me.
Henry Harvey, a do-it-all entertainer at Cake, whose different characters captured imagination.
My special Forest Ranger telescope.
But none more so than the character he says he called to shape Christmas in KAKEland for a generation.
Christmas is very, very close, isn't it, Cake Man?
Yes, Santa.
I made the phone call, and the man said, certainly, I'd be happy to. And he had a little friend that worked with him, and he was on with that show for a long time on Cake.
So 62 years ago, Henry Harvey and Hugh Harding, Santa and Cake Man, took to the airwaves.
We just found out that we could play off each other because the show was unscripted.
Thanks to Henry's son, Mike, Santa was able to continue bringing Christmas joy. Long after his father's death in 1993, Cake Man returned as well, with Harding taking creative control of the show to make sure the kids knew right where they'll be on Christmas Eve.
Zooming around the big wide world, zooming and zooming and zooming.
And there's your big dose of nostalgia there this morning here on Good Morning KAKEland. I'll tell you what, so Cake Man now lives with Harding's friend, and Harding's friend is really trying to get him into a museum of some kind, local television museum or something. So we're going to keep an eye on that. He certainly deserves to be enshrined, if you would say.
That's right. All right, from Santa's workshop to Santa's reindeer in training, some life right here in KAKEland.
Yeah, that's right. So that is coming up, and it's Frank and he got a chance to visit Fulton Valley Farms with those reindeer.
On this special edition of The Wizard of Waugh, we are at Fulton Valley Farms. We talked about the lights. David, you're joining me again with a special guest. Who is this?
This is Itsy Bitsy. She is a live North American reindeer. She's about 5 years old. We call her a reindeer in training. When Santa says that she's trained, she will go to the North Pole and get one of the original 8 names that Santa uses. Other than that, she lives here at Fulton Valley Farms, and we keep her for Santa.
You know, I think something that might surprise a lot of people is the size. I think we have this image in our head of reindeer being pretty large, but this is fairly typical?
This is very typical. She is a little smaller than most. Males get a little bit bigger. She is a female, so that she is a little bit different. Her rack is a little different than the males. But all in that, she eats about the same thing as a cow and a horse does. She loves dandelions, but she just doesn't like candy canes that some reindeer do.
And if she likes eating the same things that a cow does, she's probably very at home here at Fulton Valley Farms.
She is very much at home. She's very docile. People are around her all the time. She travels extensively to the Kansas City area in the month of December.
And as far as an attraction goes, she doesn't probably upstage the big man himself, Santa being out here on the weekends,
about equal.
This is a rare opportunity. I mean, there's not a whole lot of opportunity to actually see a reindeer like this.
Not to get up and close and personal with one of them anyway. You can touch her. She'll be in a pen for safety reasons, but other than that, she's very docile. You can see that she's not acting up at all. She just likes to stand right here and be the center of attention, really.
Just enjoying it. Shane, Allison, this is a really cool experience to be this close to a reindeer. How about a little Christmas magic? Let's see if Itsy Bitsy can fly fast enough to get her to Old Town. And we made it to Old Town with Itsy Bitsy from Fulton Valley Farms. If you want to see Itsy Bitsy, you can head out to Fulton Valley Farms tomorrow night and Saturday. Santa will be out there as well. But a real opportunity here to see a reindeer right here in KAKEland. How about that, guys? Right here in Old Town, we've got a reindeer with us on a Merry KAKEland Christmas.
Oh, she's so cute. I just want to pet her. I still haven't got to you yet.
She's so close yet so far away.
I know.
We're going to get to that here. Maybe we should take a commercial break so you can pet her.
I think so. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so coming up here on a Merry KAKEland Christmas, we're going to go to a popular West Side neighborhood to get a glimpse at some holiday lights and just how they're prepared every season.
And next, we're meeting a volunteer who goes all out to help raise money for local kids in need. And still to come, the Wichita Symphony Chorus.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun.
All right, welcome back to a Merry KAKEland Christmas. You know, it wouldn't be the holiday season without the sound of bells ringing for the Salvation Army.
That's right, and a local bell ringer has made quite the name for himself. KAKE's Kristen Miller joining us.
Good morning, guys. Merry Christmas. This guy, he goes all out for the holiday season, and he raises a lot of money for the Salvation Army. Take a look.
We've all been there. You run into the store, maybe avoid eye contact with the bell ringer because you just don't have any change on you. Well, it is impossible to ignore Andy McFadden. From bottom to top, his Christmas suit, polar bear hat and gloves, and the music. Hi, baby! You will not just slip past him.
So I have a process.
McFadden's journey with the Salvation Army started with an invite from his boss at his real job, WSU Tech, to ring the bell for an afternoon.
I mean, I didn't have any suits then.
That was 3 years ago.
Since then, I've gained 8 of these suckers in my wardrobe. This whole thing, thank you.
3 seasons, 8 suits, and thousands of rings later, McFadden has made quite a name for himself.
I've been on some social this season. Hey, what's happening? It's easy to get into, and people are, hey, what's happening?
There is a strategy to McFadden's donation collection. It goes like this. Number 1.
As you can see, my kettle's out by the street. I don't do the inside thing. You know, we'd come out and greet people. So we wave, say hi to people as they're driving by, and then walking in. That's number 2, and then on the way out, number 3, I'm gonna get you.
And before you know it,
thank you. Have a Merry Christmas. Hi,
he even gave me a shot at the gig.
See, you got it.
In Derby, Krista Miller, KAKE News on your side.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
You can tell how successful he is, right? I mean, you can't help but to love him and then also want to just find that spare change that maybe you do have in the bottom of your car and give it all to him. So he does an awesome job for that.
Cool. Glad you got to hang out with him.
Yeah, it was great.
All right. Well, coming up here, we're going to head down Candy Cane Lane.
And up next, the Wichita Symphony Chorus sings live for us here in Old Town Square with a special performance of the holiday song that's celebrating its 200th anniversary. Don't go away.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back into a Merry KAKEland Christmas. We're live in Old Town this morning, and all morning long we've been hearing the sounds of the season with a small group from the Wichita Symphony Chorus.
That's right. And joining us live now is Michelle Baker with the chorus. Michelle, thank you for braving the cold with us, singing these beautiful songs this morning for us. Tell us a little bit about the choir.
The choir, we run around 130, and we meet and enjoy singing together and sing with the symphony. And it started in about late 1970s.
Oh, wow.
And we enjoy singing together, and this is a great opportunity for us.
And about to sing a very special song celebrating an anniversary. Tell us about that.
Silent Night was written 200 years ago this Christmas Eve in a very short period of time, like a few hours, and performed quickly. No one thought it would do anything with it. 143 language translations, and it's been around for 200 years.
Now it's a song that really exemplifies the reason for the season, so we'll let you take it away. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, lost pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
Beautiful job. Thank you all so much for coming to our Merry KAKEland Christmas show. We appreciate your time. And if you tune in next week, more local choirs will be in our KAKE studio. Just tune in on Christmas morning at 11 o'clock.
That is the coolest thing. You're opening presents, you're having your breakfast, or whatever it is with family. Local voices on in the background from local schools and groups. Thank you so much to the Wichita Symphony Chorus, and we'll be back with more after this.
Hey, every weekend, families pack their cars, tour buses to go and get a glimpse of the holiday lights.
That's right. You know, I gotta say, my neighborhood, we have it all. We've got the tour buses and all that, but try as we might, we will never be quite as good as Candy Cane Lane.
Candy Cane Lane has been a tradition for the 15 years.
As new residents moved in, they just embraced it and started adding to it, and it's just become this joyous event.
Really excited, really excited.
It's a lot of fun. It's all about sharing the season.
Every time we go, it's like,
what's this? What's that?
Coming here, you get a good bang for your buck. The children and their responses, I really enjoy watching their faces.
And those lights come on every night through Christmas Eve or through New Year's Eve, and they come on, of course, at sundown, and then about 11 o'clock is when the lights turn off.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
It's been a great day here in Old Town Square.
We'd like to thank everyone for being a part of our very second, a very Merry KAKEland Christmas.
Well, before we go, we got a special guest with us. I was just kind of running over to K's this and that, doing some elving things, and decided to come over. I'm on DirecTV, so I was able to see the broadcast this morning. Allison, I'll tell you what, you've been such a special, good girl this year.
Thank you, Santa.
We have a little present for you.
What's that?
Our friends from Tanganyika are here. So we thought there we go. Oh, how about that?
Gosh.
You can enjoy the sloth just for you with our friends from Tanganyika. So please come on out. I was enjoying the broadcast, had to swing by. So had one of the reindeers in. Had to go to the vet for a little bit. Wanted to take care of that while we're here in Wichita.
Obsessed with sloths, this one.
This is a dream come true. Thank you for watching today.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you, Santa.
Oh, you're welcome, Allison. You've been such an extraordinarily good girl.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
For breaking news and your most accurate local forecast, KAKE News is on air, online, and on your mobile. KAKE News, on your side.